new film about a drug that gives you superpowers for 5 minutes dropped on Netflix today. It stars Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, so let's talk about it. When a new drug appears in New Orleans that gives people superpowers for 5 minutes, a local cop tries to track down a man who may know where the drug comes from. So I went into this movie knowing almost nothing about it. All I'd seen was a 15-second clip of Joseph Gordon-Levitt getting shot point blank in the face. Hopefully he didn't go method for that stunt. So I went in with a blank slate. Before I tell you what I thought about it, go ahead and tell me what you thought down below in the comment section. Was it a nice, fun Netflix original, or did it disappoint you? I would love to hear your take on it, and let's get started talking about the good. Right off the bat, the movie has a good bit of novelty simply by combining the familiarity of the superhero genre with the crime thriller genre. It kicks off very much kind of like a traditional crime thriller where there's drugs on the street, cop gets involved, busting things, but it then has that twist of the criminals have superpowers from taking this drug, and the police can get superpowers from taking this drug. So it takes things we've seen before and does something just a little bit different with them. Along those same lines, the directors have a really vibrant, dynamic visual style. The camera's always moving, everything is visualized in a clever way. Nothing's particularly stagnant or stale in the way that they decide to bring the pictures to life. And so the movie just always has an energy to it, whether it's a dialogue scene, whether people are popping pills and you're just seeing kind of what's going on inside their bodies, and of course in the action sequences and when people have superpowers, all of it is just filled with energy. On the story side of things, every time it started to turn a little bit cliche and feel too familiar in the beats, there'd be some twist that would take it in a new direction and give the genre a new spin. But just in general, it's a movie that takes a lot of different things that I like. Of course, I like superhero movies. Of course, I like mid-budget action movies. Kind of squishes them together a little bit, so I get several different things that I enjoy all at once. And just in general, I appreciate that Netflix is creating an environment and a place where mid-tier action spectacle films can still exist. It's not low budget by any stretch of the imagination. You've got plenty of star power in Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It has CGI, it has spectacle, but it's not a $200 million blockbuster. It's kind of in that middle space. Budget is under $100 million, and Netflix is allowing films like this to exist, and I very much appreciate that. And this one that killed 2 hours of time, and I had a good enough time with it. But there are some problems here, so let's move on to the negative. And the big thing here is that I think it tried to blend a few too many things together. Of course, you got the superhero elements, the drug crime thriller plotline, conspiracy theories, and then there's almost like road trip elements with Jamie Foxx's character taking this teenage girl with him, and he's giving her like life lessons because she wants to be a rapper, and that's a pretty significant part of the film. Felt almost a little bit like the directors had a ton of ideas and they thought this was their only opportunity to put them on screen. And while it does a decent job with each of them, it doesn't do a great job with any of them. And while there is some novelty in seeing them blended together, they don't stack on top of each other or combined in a way that elevates the film overall. It's just a bunch of different things in the same film. In particular, I really think if they had kind of removed the teenage girl out of the plot line and focused in on Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's plot lines, it probably would have been a stronger film. And because the movie is spread in so many directions, I don't feel like it fully took advantage of any of the really good ideas that were set up inside of the film. Like at the end of it, I didn't feel big payoff when the villains get taken out because they weren't set up enough early on in the film. Also, like, the pills give you superpowers for 5 minutes. Anytime you're doing an action thriller, the director's trying to find ways to add urgency and edge of your seat thrills and stakes. A pill that gives you powers for 5 minutes should be a great opportunity to constantly feel the tension that you're about to lose your powers as you go in on this mission. And the movie doesn't actually do all that much with that. Like, people start their watches, but the movie doesn't pay attention to it beyond starting their watch. And there's even times where people have powers for like 30 seconds and then they're gone. So there's even some inconsistency in how some of it played out. The script for this movie was written by Mattson Tomlin, who's actually the co-writer on next year's The Batman. So I was kind of hoping that I'd watch this movie and absolutely love the script and get even more amped for The Batman. As if I'm not amped enough for it as is. But it kind of fell more in that middle zone to where it didn't get me more excited for the Batman, but it also didn't detract from my excitement or get me worried about the script or anything like that. Overall, Project Power is a good enough spin on the superhero and crime thriller genres, while not fully living up to its potential or being as memorable as it could be. Overall, I'll give this one a B- on the entertainment scale. It's a 7 out of 10. You should stream it if you like the genres or the two lead actors. Otherwise, might as well skip this one. Be sure to tell me what you thought down below in the comment section. If you want more of my 2020 reviews, check them out right over there. Thank you so much for watching, and keep talking movies too much.